Hello, friends. Robert Bevan here, author of the Caverns and Creatures series of comedy, fantasy novels, and short stories. With me is Sam West, and today we are talking about the spell Negative Energy Flood.
It killed me. I got flooded with negative energy. Oh my god.
And now
It was
you're
just
back,
came in like a torrential downpour.
and you've returned as a zombie.
I'm dead now. I was dead inside always, but now I'm like super duper double dead. It's great.
So, what does this spell do?
Okay, this is an action to cast, 60-foot range. It requires a broken bone and a square of black silk, so you know it's uber metal. Instantaneous effect. You send ribbons of negative energy at a creature. One creature you can see within range. Unless the target is undead, it makes a Constitution saving throw, taking 5d12 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half a spell on a success. A target killed by this damage rises as a zombie. The zombie pursues whatever creature it can see that is closest to it. Statistics for the zombie are in the monster manual. If you're targeting undead with the spell, it doesn't make a saving throw. Instead, it gets 5d12, half of 5d12 temporary hit points. So, like, if you cast this on a creature, it does sometimes 5d12 damage, and if it kills it, it comes back as a zombo. And if you cast this on an undead, it gets half of 5d12 damage as HP. And you might be wondering, Bob, and as always, I'm always wondering, how does this stack up against other damaging spells? That's your first question, right?
No, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, never mind. Hit me with it. What's your first question? We'll get to the
Not
damage later.
question. Yeah, go ahead and do the damage.
Okay.
I was just thinking, making zombies cool.
Yeah, that's, I think, the neat application for this. I think it's actually the only application for this, because we're going to look at these numbers, and these numbers are depressing. So 5d12 damage for a single target. This is a 5th level spell. And 5d12 averages to 33 damage. To one thing. One thing, 33 damage. Fireball, for a 3rd level spell, is doing 28 damage to everything in a big area. So you're losing 4 damage points for 2 spell levels and hitting multiple creatures. So you cannot be casting this with the damage. The damage is unequivocally not worth it. 5th level spell for 512 damage. Nope, that's not it. You can do way better than this. So you have to really care about it coming back as a zombie and then killing that you don't really control. It just like kills things near it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at the text again. There's like, it's unfortunate you don't control it, because that's. Yeah, when I look at the spell, you instinctively, when I compare it to Fireball, that's not what I'm seeing. This isn't a strictly damage spell. This is a make a zombie spell.
But it's not a zombie you control.
No.
It's just make a zombie.
Yeah, and
sometimes make a zombie. Because if it, imagine you cast this and it doesn't kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Bummer, right?
Sure. I mean, you're casting this on like peasants, and then you want to start some chaos or something.
Why?
I don't know. Because you're evil.
I'm this close to just saying you can't ever cast a spell because it doesn't do anything. Like, I don't see any redeeming qualities about this.
All right. There are going to be times. I mean, I'm trying to think of a not horribly evil way to use this, but all right, you infiltrated the enemy's camp, and all those people are evil, and yeah, you kill one with this spell.
You killed Jim.
You killed Jim because of a stupid magic missile spell.
Correct. And I'm glad you got the reference.
You think? Yes. And then and then undead Jim starts biting Bill, and evil Bill.
I have a very important question for you.
Uh-oh.
How close is Bill to Jim?
Is
it within 40 feet? Okay.
Man, this is.
I have a niche use case for this. It's a very niche use case, but it's a niche use case I think is pretty neat. I don't think there's anything else in the game that really does this. So this creates a zombie, but it doesn't specify what type of creature has to die. Which means, unlike the Anime Dead, which gives you humanoid zombies, this can give you any kind of zombie. It's not yours, but it can be any kind of zombie. So let's say you get the hill giant within 15 HP, and you're going to be like, okay, there are enough other healthy things around that it would behoove us to all of a sudden have a giant undead ogre giant kicking the crap out of things, right? You negative energy flood it, It dies and it raises as a zombie hill giant. You functionally invested a bunch of hit point damage into killing a thing so that you could summon an undead hill giant that will just rampage against its buddies because they're hypothetically closer to it. That is like so fringe and niche. And then you could instead just cast one of the new summon spells from Tasha's Cauldron of Everything and have the exact same effect, but not have to also then waste all the damage on killing the hill giant in the first place. So like it's still not that great. Maybe you do this against like everyone immediately turns and starts wailing on the like you got a ranger, you got a rogue, and a fighter that's able to use a bow, and they all lay into some big spooky like bugbear if you're against a bunch of goblins. Then you go, okay, great, negative energy flooded, the bugbear dies, starts killing its goblin friends. Maybe that's something. I think those are the only real cases where like there's a clear bigger monster that you can race down fast enough that you can then turn it into a threat that will either buy you time or kill a bunch of enemies in an interesting location. That's so unbelievably niche. And this is all in circumstances where you're saying a fireball wouldn't be better than it. So they can't be really that close to each other or you'd rather just cast fireball. They can't be that close to each other or you'd rather just cast a damaging area of effect spell at 5th level or lower that does at least 86 damage. And there are an abundance of those.
I got another one. I'm going to build on your hill giants.
Build on my hill giants.
All right.
Much like you build your walls of stone.
Yes. You find an isolated hill giant.
Mm-hmm.
You beat him down to almost nothing. You negative energy flood him. Hill giant zombie. In complete solitude, except for you and your friends. He's chasing you, and you run away, and you find another isolated hill giant. Do the same thing. Now you got 2 of them chasing you. You rinse and repeat, and you've got this small army of hill giants, and then you run towards your enemies.
You have 6 hill giants at best.
All right, yeah, that 6 hill giants is pretty good. Then you run into your enemy's camp, and they follow, and then you just keep going, and they wreak havoc.
So this use case I love, but for just so everyone clearly and plainly understands, we're spending an 1/8, a 7th, a 6th, 2/5. I'm sorry, 2/6 and 2/5 on this, which this has no upcast, by the way. To make 6 undead hill giants to go torment a camp, as opposed to just casting spells that do that. That's the game plan here.
That's so much more fun than just casting a fireball.
I will wholeheartedly agree. That plan is very silly, and I'm all on board with. If we were playing at the table together, Bob, I need you to understand the plans that I make fun of you most for are the most that I'm like, hell yes, let's do this. I'm in. And this is absolutely top of that list as far as really dumb shit that we could get down to in D&D, and frankly, what this game's all about. Yeah, that sounds like a blast of a time. If you can get that to ever happen, I will be amazed.
Icing on the cake, while they're all fighting, then you fireball a lot of them.
And you spend a lower level spell slot for more damage. Yes, that's magnificent. That's perfect. I love this plan so much. But no, there's not a spell that anyone should ever be casting. If you're here to be like, should I try this spell? Is it good? No, is the answer to that question. We haven't even touched on like, do you see any merit in the 5d12 temp HP to a zombie buddy? It's half of 5d12 HP to a zombie, so it's like 15 temp HP to an undead buddy.
Yeah, that's not necessarily a zombie. That's that could be any undead. I guess what if you have undead under your control?
Let's say you use summon undead. That seems like an easy place to start, right?
Okay.
Summon undead gives you a it's a 3rd level spell slot. It gives you an undead spirit thing, so you can give it like conceivably it going from. Well, I mean, if you upcast it as a 5th level spell, it gets a bonus 20 HP, which is more than this. So if you're using your 5th level spell slot to cast this, it's getting more HP than you also then spending a 5th level spell slot. But let's say you already have one. Let's say you spend a 4th level spell slot on it. Do you then spend a 5th level spell slot on 15 hit points for your undead spirit, going from 40 to 55 HP?
No, not for summon undead, because that is a spell with a duration, right?
You're casting this on like your zombies that you animate with Animate Dead?
Yeah, maybe if you want them to stick around.
I promise you, if you're playing a Necromancer with Anime Dead, you don't intend for any of those zombies to make it past a single encounter.
Okay.
They're bags of hit points that are going to go down fast, and their job is to be bags of hit points that go down. Like, you send them in to die before the fighter dies. You send them in to soften the blows and give you an extra round of laying waste with your damaging effects. That's what Necromancers do with zombies. I don't think spending a 5th level spell slot on 15 HP that's not it. Imagine if you just animate Dead with a 5th level spell slot instead and get that many more zombies up. That seems better than this.
Yeah.
It's not even 5d12 HP, it's half of 5d12 hit points. Why goodness to say, give it twice of 5d10 HP, and I'd be like, okay, now I got a reason to maybe cast this and get 60 HP bonus on my undead. Now it's like a real tank, and I spent a 5th level spell slot on that. This spell's a joke. This spell's terrible.
No, I'm trying. I don't think I'm gonna top my my hill giant army.
Let's make sure that's in quotes.
I was trying to think of a scenario where, like, all right, you don't know he's undead; he's just a vampire, but you think he's just a regular guy. But then it gets worse, and you're just healing a vampire.
You heal them, yeah. I will say, despite this spell being utterly terrible, this is a million. Like, I took Earth Tremor on a dwarf. This is 1,000,000% a spell I'm taking on my evil undead characters. This is 100% I want this on my characters, just because the concept of killing an evil monster and then turning it into a zombie that then wreaks havoc, like, that deeply satisfies the fantasy of the necromancer that I want. I think the niche uses that will be like, well, once in a campaign, this will have a mediocre effect, are absolutely the kind of spells I try to live for, because I want to see that mediocre effect come to fruition, and this spell's 100% in that camp. I don't think 99% of people should. I don't think I should take this, but I'm going to. And I don't think, like, if I'm trying to be good at the game, if I'm trying to win. But if you're trying to have fun, if you want to, like, live that undead necromancer fantasy, this is perfectly fine. Could it do double the damage? And I'd still say it's pretty bad, yes. But it does half the damage, or it does the regular amount of damage, and I think that makes it almost uncastable. Still, I would give it a try if that sounds like your jam, if you like the kind of gimmicky, really bizarre hijinks plans like this guy proposes. This spell probably has a home on your sheet to try and accomplish some, like, I can't believe any of this came close to working nonsense.
Or what if what if you go beyond hill giant though? You can't you finish off a dragon with this.
Then the fight's over, and you have to fight an undead dragon. Because remember, if it's a set piece monster, you have to kill it then, because it's gonna try and kill you.
I know, but it's undead. You can run away from it. And,
then what problem have you solved?
Then you've got, you can say, hey buddy, go over to the forest. There's something I want you to see. To your enemies.
Again. That's not a real, like, I want to know what the difference is between going to your enemies and being like, hey buddy, there's an undead dragon in that cave, go say hello, to, hey buddy, there's a regular ass dragon in that cave, go say hello.
I'm not selling them. I'm saying there's like a treasure or something.
So what's the difference between it being a regular living dragon and it being a zombie dragon in this instance? Explain.
Well, all right. The difference is you took all the dragon's treasure.
Okay. But no, you didn't, because you killed it and immediately turned it into a zombie.
All right. You get the undead dragon to follow you to the evil village
with your 6 hill giants and all that fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, whatever.
But you managed to kill it without using any of your other upper level spell slots in this instance.
Why?
Because you were using them to summon more undead.
Well, I'm not talking about the hill giants anymore.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Continue.
I don't know. Just saying, a massive zombie. Like, there's got to be. I don't know. I feel like there's something there. And this is the seed.
I really don't.
Seed you planted in my head. I didn't even think about this until you.
The seed that I intended to plant, and the only, again, hyper niche, near unusable use case for this is everyone lays into the medium-sized monster in a larger set piece encounter. You kill it with negative energy flood, and then you have the medium-sized monster on your team because it's closer to the enemies and it's going to kill them first. That is the use case for it. There's like a lieutenant ogre and a bunch of orcs and a lead like necromancer in the back or whatever, and you kill the ogre, turn it into an undead ogre, and it starts killing things around it. That is the use case for this. That was the hill giant in that example.
That was-
It wasn't, we're gonna go kill a hill giant and have it follow us around and then leave it somewhere to kill a bunch
Alright,
of things.
I said a seed. I didn't say a fully developed idea. You
Okay.
planted the seed in my head. I grew the tree of
Nonsense.
yes. I think there's something there.
I think it's very fun. I think there's a lot of fun ideas.
No, I
with
think
this.
there's like not stupid things there that are potential that I haven't thought of.
I'm gonna say it. I think you're wrong. I don't think there's anything here. I think this spell is utterly, almost is entirely unusable trash. I think this is the same tier as Earth Tremor levels of bad.
All right. I guess you have a rating.
Yeah, this is a 1 out of 5. This spell's garbage, but you know I'm gonna try it out.
I'm gonna give it an optimistic 2 and hope that the commenters will justify that.
Sure.
Let me, viewers, plant the seed in your head and yeah, expand upon these ideas. Give us something useful.
I think specifically on, like, this is definitely a spell I'm taking next time I give the Undead Warlock a try, because that is also a really terrible subclass. Or sorry, the Undying Warlock. It's a terrible subclass, and this is a Warlock spell that fits right into that like wheelhouse is like undead nonsensey stuff. I 100% am gonna have a really bad character, and it's gonna be a great time. I'm really excited.
All right. Well, that was Negative Energy Flood. Thank you, Sam, and thank you everyone for joining us. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, informative, or entertaining, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the like button below. You needn't smash it, a gentle tap will suffice. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. And make sure you check out the links in the description, where you'll find my Caverns and Creatures series of comedy fantasy novels, Sam's full review of the spell, and other fun things.